Hello people, it's Poet and welcome back to another mod review of JurassiCraft. When I last did a mod review, it was back in the summer of 2014, so a lot has changed, a lot has happened. It's been a long time since I've even looked at it. This in no way is going to be the end-all be-all show you everything type of review. It's just to get you started. I don't want to spoil too much for you, otherwise what would be the point of playing yourself, right? So in front of us, I've got two types of blocks. This one's the most common, it's just the generic fossil block, and as I showed you in the last review, and I'll show you again in this one, they do look random. So when you spawn them in, they will look different each time, and that's how they will generate in the world. So I also have installed in this world, I should tell you guys, the Fossils and Archaeology build, the latest build 1.7 or 7.0.1 I believe, and I have the latest JurassiCraft build, which is 1.3.3, I believe. Or is it 3.3.1? Oh, I think it's 1.3.3. Either way, this is the way that the Fossils and Archaeology fossils look, and this is how they will generate the JurassiCraft ones. So you can see that the Fossils and Archaeology will always look this way, no matter what. Whereas the JurassiCraft will vary. I showed you that last time, and the same is true still. The reason I have an iron block there, an iron ore block, is because that's the rate at which they spawn in. You can see sandstone and several mesa biome different hardened clays that they also spawn in as. Now these ones, for some reason, they don't spawn in randomly, so I can put this one in 1,000 times and it just spawns in the same way, which almost begs the question, are they even implemented yet? I'm not sure. I haven't found a legit mesa biome in my travels in this test world to see if they generate naturally or not. But either way, they are in the works, if not already in the game. The sandstone ones, they do generate naturally. I did find them, and unlike the clay ones, the hardened clay, they do appear random. The amber, which also yields fossils, is the rarity of diamond ore, and so that's why I have the two iron and diamond there to show you the rarity. Whereas in the Fossils and Archaeology mod, the rarity of fossils is way higher. Like if I were to just quickly, I don't want to spoil too much, but fly over here, you can see there's tons of the Fossils and Archaeology fossils, about the same rarity as coal, whereas the only fossils I can see are these, which are probably the equivalent of finding some kind of a surface iron. So much more rare, but they yield way more fossils. I may go into, well, you know what, I'll stay in creative mode, but just trust me, they yield about 1 out of 4 blocks you break, fossil blocks you break will yield 1 fossil piece. So it's about 25% of the time or so. I didn't test it out to know the exact rate, but it's pretty common. So when you break these with a iron pick or a diamond pick, you can be very here, you know what, I will go into game mode 0 just to show you guys the differences in pick. You might think that a wooden pick or even a stone pick would break it because it breaks it so fast, but no, if I were to break that with just a wood or a stone pick, you wouldn't get anything from it. Iron pick at the very least yields something. Same with diamond pick yields something. So in breaking these, oh look at this. They actually, in breaking them, yielded some of the hardened clay. That's interesting enough. But I did get a couple little fossils and some bones out of that. So very good. They do drop, as far as I know, bones, fossils, cobblestone, and obviously whatever block you're breaking, so probably sandstone as well, that kind of thing. So once you've explored the world and you have your fossils from your different things, oh, let's see what this one gets me. Anything gets me amber. Okay, so once you have your fossils, you throw them into this DNA extractor. The recipe is not there. Boo earns. I will show you guys right now what it is. I need glass for that and creative mode. I'm prepared, aren't I? Oh, I have iron. Glass. Just normal glass. Need 2 pieces of that. And the recipe is as follows. Iron, 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 iron. And iron on the top like that. A redstone piece there. And 2 glass like that. So a very, very simple recipe. Not difficult at all. Less than what it would cost you to make a iron block. And then only 1 little piece of redstone, 2 pieces of glass. And you'll get this lovely little extractor. When you use the extractor, you put the fossils in there. And it goes pretty quick. Can't complain about that. And it'll yield a random thing. So again, another chance of getting just a bone. And cobblestone. So very much similar to how the analyzers work in the Fossils and Archaeology mod. But then you also get these things. So coelacanth DNA, that's prehistoric fish. And Hypsilophodon, it's kind of well, he's a little green cute dude. I'll show you that. And you'll see that they have a quality to them. Ignore the DNA part of that. I think that's just kind of for show. The DNA, what they are. Oh, it also yields sand, similar to the analyzer in the Fossils and Archaeology. So you see the quality. Now, each DNA has a different quality. It can be 25, 50, 75, and probably even 100% can be extracted. 100% being the best. Now, from what I've heard, the lower the quality of the DNA, if I were to make that into a dinosaur, I would not get quite a correct dinosaur. I would get sort of a mutant, right? I don't really want a mutant. I want as pure as possible. So what you want to do, and I'm hoping that that's going to keep going to the point where I can get 2 of the same. If not, I will actually give, well, I can't probably give myself 1. So I'm just going to actually show you guys live on camera what that yields. So once you have your DNA, you would put this into a DNA combinator. I love that name. It's like almost an evil villain. I am the combinator. But it is kind of a cool little machine. I like the little slant in it. The modeler was obviously pretty competent in making this look kind of cool. It almost has the colors of like a Pokemon item, though. I don't know if that's really interesting. Oh, but I forgot to mention. Look at that. Look at that. You can actually see. It's not like I can pick them up. They're not drops. You can actually see inside what is in there. Isn't that awesome? I think that little feature is so cool. So I can see from a distance. Oh, I just got cobble. Don't check it yet. You know? Oh, I just got sand. I'm going to ignore that one. So that is a really cool analyzer. They're calling it the DNA extractor. Really nice. And I got 2 now, so I'll show you guys what I mean by the quality differencing. So this is where the combinator comes into play and why I was waiting to have 2 of the same. So I got 2 brachiosaurs. One's 50%, one's 75%. You combine them to get you a better quality. So I guess if you had 25 and 25, it would get you one that's 50, and so on. Why is this not moving? Is Brachiosaur maybe broken? I wonder. Let's see if we can get something else going. Because I did test this out. This one's 50, and this one's 50. There we go. This one's working. I gotta say that this is the beta build that I'm running on, the 1.3.3, and it may have some flaws in it like that, where the Brachiosaur for some reason didn't really work. Or maybe it was only because one was 75 and 50. You know what? I bet that would be it. I bet that's it, because I can't go above 100%. So if I put this 50% one and 50% one, yup, sure enough. So it's good that I did that on camera. You can see you can't go above 100%. So in order to make this pure, I would need a 25%, which could actually take a long time. I was very lucky to get, oops, why am I in there typing EE? I was very lucky to get 2 50% ones right away. I think this one just spawned in 100%. One of them did. So that also is confirmed, possible. These 2 are 25%. I can combine them into 50% and so on and so forth. The recipe, Super simple. Like, you can't get simpler than that. Still less than an iron block. You put the little redstone piece in the middle, and it gets you this awesome machine. I wish Minecraft was so simple as that. My only complaint about this DNA extractor is that hoppers do not work. Sad face. I really wished that they would work, because I had some kind of interesting ideas for setting up systems to feed into the extractor, because I was kind of bummed by the fact that there's only 4 slots here, and there's only, well, you know, you don't really need that many slots in here, to be honest. It's the slots here that are the big problem for me. Amber work? Yep. The fact that, yeah, 100%. Amber gets you a much higher percentage. I'm more than positive of that. Anyway, the fact that you only get 4 little boxes that have to fill up, and when they fill up with bone, cobblestone, sand, and something else, it's kind of depressing. So I thought, at the very least, a hopper underneath feeding into a chest would be so cool. But unfortunately, nope, none of these hoppers feed into it. And trust me, I don't know a way to test from there to there without using it. But I did test, and they do not feed from here. Nope, they just sit there. Nothing goes into the chest. So that's a little bit upsetting, but not bad. I mean, the Fossils and Archaeology mod is no different than that either for the analyzers. Let's see. Okay, next I'm going to show you the cultivators, because that's the next step. Here again, we have the Fossils and Archaeology mod analyzer, what they look like, versus the brand new look to these analyzers. And or the cultivators. Am I saying analyzer? I meant cultivator. The culture vat, the cultivator. This is the Fossils and Archaeology one. This is the new one. I think when I last did my mod review, I said it would be so cool if they looked kind of similar to the Pokemon ones, the Pixelmon ones, where it's clear glass and you can see what's analyzing inside, cultivating inside, and they've done it. And it's so epic. So I'm going to show you guys that now. The system is as such. Looks kind of confusing. What's this nutrients all about? What's this cultivate? What do you need? What do you do? So what you need is a water bucket. Actually, I need probably several buckets worth of water. I need a nutrient of any kind. Whoop, beef. You need a nutrient of any kind, so I'm just going to choose beef, but just about any protein or probably plant matter from this mod can go into the nutrients section. And when you do that, it eats it all up and fills all these things. So it gives the proximates, minerals, vitamins, and lipids that this thing would need. Water, you fill, and you fill. Full tank. Now what shall we cultivate? Yeah. Tyrannosaur. And look at this. Is this not one of the coolest things you've ever seen? And just here to compare it, I've got a Brachiosaur. I'm going to put that in there. You can see kind of the difference in the looks. Similar ideas, but let me tell you, which looks a little bit more impressive. My only complaint about this cultivator is that the looks of it are kind of odd. Like, I made this with iron, and it gives me this weird sort of gunmetal colored with green, purple specks weird thing. I would prefer that it would match these things. You make them with iron, and they've got iron looks to them. Iron on the back, iron on the sides. You can see all the iron blocks very well match with it. This one, you make it with iron, and yet nothing. It looks so weird. And no percentage. The Pixelmon cultivator has a percentage to tell you when it's done. On this one, you can't even click on it. And it doesn't show you that it's done. It doesn't say, like, complete, ta-da, you've got your thing, take it. It just disappears. You right-click it now, and you can see that it's an egg. And the egg quality, hope I'm not losing anybody here, the egg's quality matches the DNA's quality. So if I were to make a Brachiosaur DNA, fill it in there, and put it in there, it would give me an egg of 75% quality. You get it? Good. So, with this Tyrannosaur egg... Oh, actually, I should show you guys. I almost completely forgot to show you guys. This is the crafting recipe. Super easy. Again, a really simple crafting recipe. Little base, iron ingot on the top, and then whatever colored stained glass panes you want. So I chose just the cyan ones, which is, I think, this one right here, which is my personal favorite. But they come in any of the colors. It looks so cool. So it can match your color scheme. Maybe you love purple. You want to deck your whole house out with purple stained glass and stuff. You can have matching cultivators. Who wouldn't want that, right? The colors are quite a bit saturated, I should say desaturated. So you get a lot of, like, I think this one's whitish, and that one's like gray, and that one's maybe a light gray, or you see, I can't even tell. There's several that look very much the same. The pink one is very similar to the red one because of how desaturated they are. It would be nice to have them a little bit more colorful, but at the same time, I'm very happy with these. All right. Am I ready to show you guys this yet? Not yet. Let me zip across to these. So you can make basic fences. You've got a low security base, which looks like this. You've got the low security pole, which looks like this. And I should show you guys that it is directional. So I can put that there, and I can put that like that. It depends on which way you're facing, kind of like a hopper. In the inventory, they do kind of look weird. They look like just the side of an iron block. And speaking of which, the low security corner, it actually does look like an iron block. And to show you guys that it's not just an iron block that I placed there to trick you, see, there it is in my inventory, low security fence corner. So the crafting recipe for the base is, again, easy, using just cooked stone, so cooked cobblestone, I should say, stone blocks. Iron ingots on the top, redstone in the middle. This one's even easier, stone on the sides and iron ingots through the middle to make the pole. And then the corners, again, super easy, lots of stone, but this time with an iron block in the middle. So you actually use an iron block to make this. I'm assuming that later on they're going to change the texture of this to have more darkened edges or something to distinguish it from iron blocks. But not yet. Until then, that's all you get. So, what can you do with it? Let me show you guys. I've caged in a vicious beast here. And this is how the fence completed will look. Now, the corners have an interface. And what does all this mean? I have no clue. Actually, I do. I have played with this a little bit. So, need you. I'm going to show you guys kind of how it all sort of works. So I break. You don't make those bars across. I can break them, in creative at least, but you don't make them. What you do is you put down your base, you put your corners, you put down your base, you put your corners, and the poles go on top, probably as high as you'd want your electrified fence to go. And that's what this is all about, making it electrified. So here you have to kind of look at your coordinates and figure out which directions you're going to go. So right now I can tell that I'm looking east. That's, if I look right there, see where my mouse is? East. So I know that if I click on this one, click east, fix fence. Well, it needs a lot of fixing, I think. So by default it'll look off. But it says, to fix it, you need iron ingots, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, but we need redstone dust, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now I can click Fix Fence in the easterly direction. And ta-da! It makes the little fence go from this way eastwards to this one. And you can do the same for each one. So if that was east, this must be north or south. And it is north. So click north. Should be off. Click north. Put as many of those as you want. It doesn't really matter. Fix fence. Done. Okay. So that's like that. This one would be west, right? You following? Fix fence. And this one would be south. So south. Fix my fence. There we go. So once that's all done and this fence is flipped on, on. And base is wrong. Why? Why is the base wrong? Maybe I don't understand these as much as I wish I did. Oh. Base is wrong to go in that direction. That's something that I wish they would fix a little bit. Like, I have to click north again and see that it is on. The fence is on, but when I click on it, it defaults to south or something. Well, this isn't south, it's the east one, and it's on. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Way more sense. I wonder... No. I was thinking maybe I could control each of them from here, but nope. I can't. So this one was the one going to the south. Right? And it's on. Okay. So when it's on, if I go into game mode 0 again, you can actually see, ouch, it is electrified. And anything inside that touches it will get a little bit of a jolt. And that's a pretty powerful jolt. It does do a bit of damage there. So very, very cool that you can now have electrified fences. So I think we're ready. Maybe I should put it in here to have our little Tyrannosaur egg. It looks very similar to the eggs in the Fossils and Archaeology mod. But this time, we need something called a Dino Pad. It's very similar to the Dino PDA of the Fossils and Archaeology mod. Ew. It's almost like the Dino PDA, because it looks like a little PDA, and this is the crafting recipe. Probably the most complex one, sort of, only that it needs glowstone, which means you need to get to the nether before you can actually make a Dino Pad. It's not quite necessary to have a Dino Pad. It is just for show, just for fun. So what you do with a Dino Pad is it works very similar to the Fossils and Archaeology Dinopedia. You right click with it and it shows you the little digital printout of what is happening with your egg, and has little PDA buttons for if there were other options, which maybe they'll add for eggs later, I don't know. But the PDA, this Dino PDA, as I keep calling it, it's not a Dinopedia, it's a Dino PDA. It has uses that can be, well, you can use it on dinosaurs. I'll just say that. And when this little guy hatches, which is happening very, very quickly, takes, I would say, almost 1% per second, feels like. It's pretty quick. Can't complain about that either. Here you go. Look at this little, tiny little guy. If I use the Dino Pad on him, I can see who the owner is. It's me. What his health is, what his attack strength is, his speed, what gender it is, and how old it is, and what the creature name is, and a little bit of information on them as well. Oh, so cool, isn't it? Unfortunately, if this little guy were to touch, or little girl, I should say, would touch the fence, hey, it would probably get a little bit of a jolt there. So I'm going to actually break this for now. We don't need you to get a little jolt, do we? Break all this, right? And that brings me to the next and final part that I wanted to show you guys before you guys get started in your own dinosaur series or your own dinosaur playthrough, is the growth serum. Now the growth serum, I think it's pretty self-explanatory what it does. Here's the crafting recipe. This piece right here, the raw beef, again, change it out for any kind of protein. I'm just using beef. It could be pork. It could be chicken. It could be probably even a Tyrannosaurus meat or some other kind of meat like that. Golden carrot, cactus green, and some water. You put it all together in a syringe, and those golden carrots in Minecraft, I'm telling you, they're powerful, those things. Hit. Uh-oh. 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 Where did it run off to? That is probably not a good thing. You see, this is also why you don't break cages. Okay, well, Let's go to just, you know what? Let's spawn one of these. You can toggle baby, which I will. There's a little guy. Look at him. He's rather cute, isn't he? Hypsilophodon. Oh, there's the baby T-Rex hiding. But what I really love is the way that the models look. The models are cool. But anyway, let's growth serum this little thing up. Come on, stop running for me. You can see as I use this thing. Oh, can't grow anymore. There it is in full size. It scratches its little head thing, and the dino pad shows it's very healthy, very fast. Owner none. No information on it yet, but that I grew it 23 days. Very, very, very cool. And of course, this growth serum would work just the same on this. Yeah, you get very big, don't you? But there you go. I don't want to spoil it too much with the dinosaurs. I want you guys to play this and explore it and figure out what you can do and what you can't do. There are some other blocks that I saw in the not enough items menu. So if you have not enough items, there are some other custom blocks that they're working on, not quite implemented yet. And of course, there might be other things as I progress with this mod that I'll find out and discover and say, oh wow, why didn't I do that before? But I think that covers the basics. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll leave the rest of the exploring of this mod up to you. Until next time, we'll be seeing ya. Bye-bye.